things that we already have. For starters, we are playing with a dimensional covenant type of empire. And so what this says is that this society is underpinned by a deep spiritual consciousness. Strict moral codes are in place to ensure the highest percentage of its people can confidently look forward to the afterlife. And so on top of that, we have the Dark Consortium. This is a civic that we have, and this says that a deep understanding of the architecture of the universe allowed this society to exploit in the mysterious properties of dark matter long before the discovery of the hyperdrive. Now, I want to say, is this new? I may be wrong on that, but I feel like I don't remember seeing this one. If not, though, my apologies if I made the mistake. But this says that it'll start us with dark matter drawing already researched. This also gives us access to a special edict, and we'll have access to dark matter breakthrough council on the agenda. Now, next up, this one for sure I know is a new civic. This is the dimensional worship. And so this says that this society believes that a divine existence lies beyond the folds in the space and time. Systems where instabilities are highest hold a sacred meaning to them as sites of both pilgrimage and research. And so what this civic pretty much does is it allows me to build a dimensional shrine star-based building in systems containing a wormhole, a sector scar, and an astral rift, and an L-gate or a shroud tunnel. So each dimensional shrine will provide me 10 extra unity. Cool stuff. And so this empire might be leaning a little bit more into the spiritual side of things, but yeah, that's what we got today. The modifiers for this civic says that our monthly astral threads will be increased by 25%. Astral threads are a resource that you can acquire when you collect them from astral rifts, pretty much. Then it says chances for astral rifts to appear in a system that I control will be increased by a whopping 100%. Now, on top of that, rare technologies will now appear at 1.1 times the normal rate. This effect will change a 1% chance into a 1.1% chance. Now, on top of that, we have new council positions, an astral minister. And so this says that our empire effects per skill level says that each priest will also provide 0.20 physics. And this is also available for our governors or our officials and scientists. And so, yeah, besides that, we're going with the egalitarian empire, xenophile, and spiritualist. For my species, I kind of created this empire off of the United Nations of Earth empire. I created a scientist of Earth here, you can see. But yeah, they have the adaptive, nomadic, and wasteful traits. And so I actually think I might shift that around a little bit. And so in the first couple of minutes of this stream here today, guys, I'm just going to be looking at our empire here. And before we look at this, I want to show you guys one of the new pre-made empires. This is the Certarian Covenant Empire. And so, yeah, they have the Ascensionist perk or civic and the Dimensional Worship. So yeah, I think I got that one right. That's the Dimensional Worship one is right, but the Dark Consortium, that might not be a new trait or a new civic, so sorry about that if I got that mixed up. But yeah, we have our Rift World Origin, which we're going to take a look at here in a second. For starters, I want to change up my species name. And so let's give them something a little bit cooler here. That's Seal Door. If I roll that again, we might... How about Mishar? We're the Mishars. There we go. And so for our name list, we'll be... let's change our ship prefixes to Rifts. The Rift Guardian. Ooh, that has a nice little flow to it. And then I want to change some of the human traits here. And so we're going to get rid of the nomadic and the other one. I think it was wasteful, or I can't remember what it was called. And we're going to switch some things up here. We're going to keep, actually I might get rid of adaptive as well. And let's just go with our own traits here. And so I've been looking at the Astral Planes DLC for a bit. And I know for sure that physics research is going to be very nice to play around with these astral actions that we could be playing with today. And so natural physicist is going to be my first trait that I select for my species. And then let's go with, how about traditional? Why not? I saw that we got some traditional or some unity bonuses from our civics. Let's jump on that. And so physicist and traditional is what we have. I don't really want any negative traits right now, but we'll just run with these two for the time being. For our homeworld name... Savasia, I can dig it. And for our star name, I don't know, I'm just gonna go with something kind of simple and just easy to remember, opening. And so we're gonna start on a continental world in a random trinary system. That's where we'll be starting our Empirettes. For our background, look, don't come at me, but Necroid backgrounds, the Necroid city is the best. And so we're running with that one as well. And, you know, let's just go with a little bit darker background here. I kind of dig this, not necessarily the spiritualist path we're taking there, but nonetheless, I think it looks pretty cool. For our origin, for our species origin, we're going to be looking at a new one here. This is the Rift World origin, and so it says a massive rift in space and time looms near this civilization's homeworld. After studying the phenomena for millennia, recent advances in starship technology will allow them to finally reach out and discover what secrets might behold. Now, the effects of this civic says that our homeworld will have an ancient crater archaeology site, and then it'll say that the chance for astral rifts to appear in our system we control, again, that'll be increased by 100%. On top of that, our astral rift exploration speed is increased by 25%, and our astral rift fail probability is actually decreased by 50%. And so the chances of us failing, a little less likely to happen, but I mean, it's not impossible. Now, again, jumping over here, we have our new civic, the Dimensional Warship. We already looked at Dark Consortium, and so these are pretty cool. We'll keep these set for now. For my ethics, we're going with Spiritualist, Egalitarian, and Xenophile. And so I might be rereading over some of these, but that's what we have right now. For our authority, we're going with Democratic. And so that's it. Let's go up next with our spiritual voice, or our advisor voice.
I serve the faithful. There is no greater calling.
And since we are playing with the Spiritualist Empire, I'm going to run with the Spiritualist voice. For our Empire name of the stream, the Dimensional Dominion. And so for our adjective, I just decided to go with double D's. Dimensional Dominion, double D's. There it is. We have a Empire flag theme. And I'm actually curious to see if maybe we could find something that looks a little bit more spiritualist. Honestly, this kind of looks like a rift right here. And so let me see if I can get a background here to complement that. And oh man, I mean, that looks kind of cool too, but something about the triangles are standing out to me right now. Radio wave, yeah, the double D's. All right, and so, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time on this flag here. I mean, honestly, this is one of the most important parts of a game, is putting your designs together for your Empire flags here. But, you know, let's just go with this one here. The Dimensional Dominion, there it is. Our ship prefix, guys, again, hear me out, don't come at me. But Necroids have the best ship design in game, hands down. Necroids are just, they're so sleek, they're sharp, they're pointy looking. There it is. And so the Necroid ship design, or the ship appearance, we'll run with that set. And then we have Alon Mayfield as our first ruler. And let's change up the ruler title here. How about for the ruler title for a male, the Rift Lord? And for the female ruler title, Queen of the Rift. All right. Yeah. And so we have Queen of the Rift and the Rift Lord. Over time, we may have male or female leaders. And for the color variants, ooh, I kind of like this here because their eyes are kind of like a brighter purple. Their skin's a little nice and bluish looking color. Let's change up the clothing as well. See what, oh man, I feel like all the clothing looks good. Maybe not that last one there, but like this looks pretty fly right here. I like the first one. There it is. And so, yeah, here it is. Alon Mayfield, our first ruler, who also has the Spark of Genius trait. And so, yes, we are playing with organics. They may not live for a long time. They could just drop dead at any point, hopefully not sooner than later. But yeah, here it is. We have our Empire set. Let's go ahead and save this Empire in case I want to play with them later on. And let's jump into our game details next. Now, usually I play on huge galaxies. I actually want to finish a playthrough this time around. And so we're going to keep the game size on 600 stars or at a medium galaxy size. For the shape, I'm going to switch this over to, let's go with something we haven't played in a while. How about Barred Spiral? Sure, why not? Let's give that a shot. AI Empires, I'll keep at 10 for now. We'll keep this kind of like a normal balanced game. Don't want any AI starts right now. I want everyone to be on equal playing grounds here. For the Fallen Empires, though, I will say I like playing with Fallen Empires in my game. These empires don't get an equal start as the rest of the other empires in the game. we'll have 3. I love having Fallen Empires in my games, and usually I turn Marauder Empires off. I'm going to do it again in this game as well. Now, for technology and tradition costs, I like to keep these a little bit lower, and so we're going to keep that at about 1x. I don't remember what the default is, honestly. I haven't played on default settings in a while. Habitable worlds, also another trait here, another game detail that I like to keep low. I like to, it makes it feel like planets are more valuable, and so finding them and colonizing them will be more important. For pre-FTL civilizations and pre-sapient species, we'll keep this kind of in the middle, 2.5. Crisis strength, I'm gonna bump this up to about, we'll just go to 2 right now, all right? I picked the same details as you, Trisha. Nice. Yeah, I like to keep things kind of like scarce a little bit, but not to the point where there's like nothing that I can find. I like to like make things seem more valuable. Like if there's like a bunch of like if every system near my home system has planets in it, that just takes away from the immersion of a galaxy for me. And so for crisis type, I've always been playing with all. That's how I run. All crisis all the time. We got to defeat 3 crisis to at least end the game. For our mid-game start year, I like to have this one a little bit earlier on, and so 100 years from the start of our game today, there will be a mid-game crisis, or the game will start rolling for a mid-game crisis, and then 75 years after that, 2375, we will have a end-game start year. For the victory year, we'll crank this bad boy up to the year 2600, and then for the difficulty, I've been playing on Admiral a little bit lately. I want to keep it on Admiral for now. Scaling difficulty is going to be set to the late game. And then we're going to look at some last details here. Empire placement will be set to random. Let's see here. Hyperlane density. I actually like to set this to 1 so that there's more choke point systems in the galaxy. But I think this time around, I'm just going to turn it up a little notch, just 1.25. For abandoned gateways, I'm not really a big fan of the gateways, and so I turn these all the way off. Wormhole pairs, I keep this as low as possible. If there's like 20 wormholes in the galaxy, again, that's too much to try to keep up with for me, and so pass. Guaranteed habitable worlds. Only 1 guaranteed habitable world will be in my sector, or at least close to my home world. Carabineers will keep on. L-gates, I'll keep on. Xeno capability, as everyone pretty much I'm sure does, turns off. Logistics growth ceiling, these two, I really don't know too much about these. It says that this controls how large the pop growth bonuses are when planets are in the middle of their logistics curve. The higher it is, the faster the pops will grow. And so again, guys, I don't want I don't want to have like just too many resources all at once. I want to like have to work for my resources. And so again, these things I'll keep relatively low. This is Iron Man mode, and so all decisions are final. Let's go ahead and start our first Astral Rift game. It is here. Here we are. Yes. Having 50 habitats or habits on top of me isn't fun, in my opinion. Yes. I want to have like a select handful of planets to colonize. Same thing for the other empires. Even too many habitats, it's just like, all right, this is too much. Now let's go ahead and look at our origin for the Rift world. This is a little bit more in depth right here about our origin. So, oh, okay, I got what you're saying. Habitable planets, copy that. All right, so much has happened since modern humans, which, you know, we're humans, first emerged in Africa some 200,000 years ago. Our kind spread rapidly across most of the globe, and soon the first civilizations took form. Scientific progress has been swift, though not without cost. Wars claimed millions of lives even before the atom was tamed, and the turmoil of the 21st century saw the mandate of the United Nations gradually expanded in an effort to create stability. Now, by the early 22nd century, the supranational organization had become a de facto world government. Though some still resent the power wielded by the UN, as evidenced during the Mauritian police action of '88, few can deny that the technological breakthroughs that have come out of this sponsored research programs. With the recent completion of the true ship starships, mankind is about to embark on a new era of space exploration. Let's begin. And so right off the back, we are starting with a seismic anomaly being detected. And this is from our origin. And so it says, recent seismic activity has revealed unexpected features of the ancient impact site near our capital. This specific crater has been linked to legends involving the very genesis of our species. And so, ooh, apparently this anomaly has something to do with the origin of our species. We're going to say fascinating, and this is going to leave a archaeological dig site on our home world here, sort of a Earth-like clone here. Art is joining us today and says, hi, I just want to, I'm not sure what that means. Want to ask, does anyone play Stellaris on PS5 or know someone who is playing it on console? I'm playing on PC right now, so this is a PC playthrough, but I'm sure someone in the chat may be able to, maybe, I don't know, maybe someone is playing on console. This is all PC, but yo, guys, we have an Astral Rift here in our home system, and if you're playing with the Rift World Origin, you're going to see this in your home system. This is very close to my home world, and apparently something pretty much just crashed into my planet near the speed of light, all right? Not at the speed of light. I learned that in this video that I made a couple of days ago, but yeah. And so there goes that. Now, a couple of things look a little differently here. Above me right here, our interface looks a little different. We have two tabs, and so you have your government tab that is showing the sectors, it shows your planets, the shipyard, things like that. Then you have your ships. And so now there's two different tabs here, making it a little less, just sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. There's just all kinds of things here. But yeah, a new outliner. I'm curious to see how players will respond to this, whether you will keep the, actually, I don't even know if the tiny outliner will like work with this now, but there it is. That's that there. And already I'm going to go over here to the left side and we have a new tab, Discoveries. And so if I click on this, this is where you're going to find your relics and a new tab, Astral Actions. And so Astral Actions are going to be things that you find once you open up Astral Rifts and things like that. And so, so far so good. I'm more worried about the leader changes. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there as well. I have yet to have really like given it a shot and seeing how it impacts my gameplay. But I mean, honestly, leaders hasn't really bothered me as much. When it comes to like changes like that, I just try to like work around it. All right. I won't let it ruin the game for me or anything like that, but yeah, we'll see how we can do. Right now, we have one Astral Action available. This is the Gaining Physics Insight, and this says that if we were to activate this, we would gain Physics Insight modifier for 5 years, and this will increase my monthly physics research by 10%. And so, yeah, we'll look at that here later on once we get those astral threads. And I want to say there was something else. Let's look at our policies and edicts before we get this game started. Right now, I have the game paused. We're just going to check out our empire, look under the hood, and see if there's things that we can change. And so right now, the diplomatic stance is set to expansionist. That's usually what I'm looking for first. Our trade policy is set to wealth creation. Our economic policies, I'm going to keep it at mixed for now. And already, I think this has to do with our civic that we selected when we created our empire. And so I have dark matter forging. Wow, I have a couple of things that I usually don't see when I start a new game. And so Shadow Matrix here, pretty cool stuff. This gives me 1 encryption, 1 code breaking, and it increases my maximum infiltration level. We then have dark matter forging. This gives me 5% more monthly alloys. We have dark matter unraveling. This increases monthly energy credits. And then we have baryonic insight. And this increases, monthly physics research. And so maybe we could play into this with our civics here. Old Man Mordeth, hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I love that new civic. Yes, I'm trying this out. I wanted to tinker around a little bit with the dark matter. And let me check my special resources here. Wow. We are starting by generating 1 dark matter already in the early game. And so knowing me, I might just trade that with other empires to get more resources once we find them. But yeah, Old Man Mordeth, how are you enjoying the Astral Planes DLC? We're also streaming this thing over on YouTube as well, and so there will be some interactive media going on here after the stream where you guys can vote and sway the decisions that are happening in my game. And so right now, this is only Chapter 1, but yes, Astral Planes, never heard of it. Lies, Old Man Mordeth, yes. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're playing with the Spiritualist Empire today. Oh, and that is where the dark matter is coming from. Puerto Gonzalez. It's an interesting name for a barren world, but here's our trinary system. We are starting it. For starters, let's start with our technologies to research. And so right away, I'm going to jump into field modulation for those extra energy credits. Then we're going to go with planetary unification so that I can get that pretty much lump sum of unity. And then for engineering technology, Let's see here. Maybe we'll go with powered exoskeletons. Let's get some worker pop resource output. Thorn, hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure I didn't find Alpha directly from Mordaev. I think it was someone who raided into someone. It may have been Mordaev. Yeah, Mordaev has dropped me a couple of raids here. Why can't we have a say in your choices? You do have a say in my choices. And so after the stream here, we're streaming over on YouTube as well. Here's a link to that channel. And after the stream, if you jump over to my community post, in between streams, I will leave a question or something that you guys can vote on. If I have a moderator in the chat today, we'll see if we can get some decision makings here on some riffs that we explore. But yes, there will be decisions that you can do. Well, right now, there's not really much that I want to make it more of like a critical situation. What am I doing here? And so, yeah, I'm going to be playing through this as if I'm playing through it. Once a more critical situation happens, then you will be able to make some decision makings for me, excuse me. Amazing promotion videos for Astral Planes, by the way. Hey, well, Mordaev, I appreciate that. Guys, yeah, I had the opportunity to make some videos for the official Stellaris page. If you have not checked that out already, I'll leave a link in the video, excuse me, a link in the video here after the stream for those. But yeah, pretty much I just got to break down some of the newer features that are coming into the game here so that when you're starting this thing up, you'll know what you're getting yourself into. All right, and so let's go ahead and zoom out of the galaxy here. And yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, that's wonderful. I was super nervous about making those videos because I was like, oh man, like I'm on a platform that is way bigger than mine. What are people going to say? And honestly, I've been trying not to look at comments. And so it's been one of those like, all right, push the button and don't look and let's see what happens. But yeah, I would never let monsters in chat make my Stellaris choices. I've learned lessons on BG3. Nice. Now this is my first rodeo, but we'll see how it goes. And so, guys, if we want to start this archaeological dig site that is on my home planet here. Let me see, where is it at? Actually, I don't think it's started up yet because I didn't even start the game. Let's look at, oh wait, we've already looked at Astral Actions. I want to make sure we've covered everything. Relics, so we don't have any relics right now. Cool, I think we should be good to start our game, but first let me send a scientist to, I'm just gonna plot a course for my scientists here so that they can start exploring the galaxy. And so here we are in the Barred Spiral Galaxy, and honestly, I gotta say, this is the closest I've ever been towards the middle. Am I in the middle? Holy cow! We actually started right in the middle. That is crazy. Wow. First Astral Planes DLC run, playing on a barred spiraling galaxy, and we started right in the middle of the bar. In the middle. Nice. You started in the middle as well? Wow. Well, here we are. The Dimensional Dominion Empire right in the middle. And so, cool. Where do we go? Left or do we go right? You are the choke point indeed. Oh my goodness. This makes me so excited right now. And so let's go ahead and grab our scientists, and we're going to send them over here to the left side to survey this system that has that one habitable system that is near my world. And so we'll start here, and then honestly, I guess we'll just plot a course here and check out this cluster of systems here. But holy moly, starting in the middle of a barred spiral in the middle of the galaxy, I gotta screenshot this because that's incredible. Wow. Oh, did I just press the wrong button here? I think I did. All right, and so there it is. Nice. Starting in the middle of a barred galaxy. Very cool. All right, and so let's go ahead and jump over to our construction ship as well. I'm gonna go ahead and send them here so that we can get to work right away on expanding our borders. And what I'm gonna do with my fleets here is one cool thing that I think this has been added a few patches ago, but if you have a admiral on your fleets, you can actually send them to explore other systems. And so while my scientist is exploring on one side, I'll have my fleet exploring on the other side. And so let's just go ahead and send them on their way. And we'll check out each of these systems here. And then we'll come back to the side of the galaxy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting our game started right now. And bingo, we got that first archaeological dig site. Now, I'm going to have my scientists continue surveying on the other side. Let's look at what this dig site is. So here we have an ancient crater. It says we've detected anomalous seismic activity from deep inside an ancient crater on the surface of our home planet. our underground sonar revealed a previously unknown cavity. Now, if I want to do this, I'm going to have to assign a scientist to begin excavating this, but the scientist cannot be on the council. So that's important to know there, but yeah, see, this leader is my head of researcher. And even though I put him on here, as you can see, the excavation phase will not continue. And so we'll have to change that here in a bit. Oh no, and I messed up my route here. And so never mind, we'll go ahead and have them continue surveying for a bit. And then I'll probably end up eventually getting around to recruiting another scientist. Okay, and so let's jump over to our resources here. I'm going to sell a few of these. We're going to sell our consumer goods as well as our food, both of our upkeep resources. I'm going to buy me a handful of minerals because you need minerals to build buildings. And then we're going to jump back to our planet here, Sevasia. And let's go, you know, usually I lean a little bit more into science. And, you know, I always think I'm going to try something out a little differently, but we're gonna do it again today. We're going to go with another research lab here. And then after that, I think I have enough here to build a science ship. And so we're going to jump over to our shipyard, build that science ship, and then we're going to knock out some more under the hood things of my empire, kind of like our fleet and our ship designer. Now, I see here that my ships are starting off a little bit differently than how they are before, and it has the 2 lasers on it. I'm going to change the ship roll to screen, and bingo, we got some point defense here. I'm going to switch that to flak battery, keeping the lasers on here and running all armor on our ships here. And so this is going to be my new and primarily default design for my corvettes. And then we'll come back to this a little bit later on once we are actually, let's go ahead and just knock out the defensive platforms as well. We'll go ahead and clean that up and make sure this one, actually this one's pretty much set the same way. Oh, wow. Now, I don't know if I want that much flak battery. Yeah. But I'm going to add actually, you know what, let's just change the ship roll to, wow, there's a couple of different options here. Let me see here. Yeah, you know what, honestly, I might just keep this one as the default, but I will add more armor. In my past couple of games, I've been running mostly armor compared to shields. And we'll see if there's been any changes to the way the AI is building their ships. Now, we're building a science ship. We've got our other science ship, our head of researcher, traveling across the galaxy. And besides that, I think we are good to go. And so here we are. Let's go ahead and get our ships moving here. Let's get this game started. Let's generate some resources. And I feel like there's a missing space here. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, and so yeah, we'll check out that situation here once we get a scientist up. But yes, now we begin surveying this first system next to my home system. And hopefully, I mean, I don't see why not. This is a continental world. This should be a colonizable world for my species. And so it looks like, boom, there it is. We have a second science ship up and ready to go. Let's look into hiring another scientist here. And so with these astral rifts and these archaeological dig sites, I want to make sure that I'm leveling up a scientist that has traits that complement excavation sites. In this case, I don't have any scientists I see that have rolled for it. In that case, I'm going to go for Shivangi Shouta, who has the energy Mongol traits. Oh, I feel like I don't recognize this trait, or at least the name for it. But this says that if they have a planetary effect of increasing energy credits from technicians and a sector effect while governing sector capitals, also increasing energy credits from technicians. Cool stuff there. And so let's hire this leader, and this leader we will use to research this excavation dig site on my home planet. And so actually I'm going to go ahead and select the scientist through this tab here. Boom, and bingo, now that excavation phase has begun. This dig site is only, it's going to be an easy dig site for us, at least right now. And so as this ancient crater situation continues, we'll dive into this, we'll learn a little bit more about what's going on. Thank you, Trisha, for that. I appreciate that. And now we have a tradition already available. Wow, I feel like that was kind of quick. All right, and so for our first tradition here, discovery has to be the way. It's the only way. It says our curiosity about the universe is what got us this far, and there is still so much left to discover. And so this will unlock an agenda, chart the unknown that I want. It'll unlock an edict that we'll be activating as soon as we can, map the stars, and we'll get an anomaly research speed being increased by 20%. And so let's go ahead and select discovery as our first tradition. We also got that agenda that we'll look at a little bit later on. And let's go back to our government policies and edicts. And I have a few of these active as well. But for starters, let's go with, where are you at? Map the stars. And so mapping the stars increases your survey speed by 25%. It increases your anomaly discovery chance by 10%. And it increases your hyperlane detection range by 1. And so we'll be able to see systems a little bit further out. And then on top of that, I have the, so as much as I want to use these edicts right now, I think they're a little expensive for what we are using. And so cool stuff there. But we do have astral threads, and let's jump back to discovery. I want to see how much it's going to cost me to use an astral action. And so right now I have 25 astral threads. I'll need 250 to gain physics insight. And so let's just take our time here. Like I said, we're going to continue building up resources, and we'll jump back to this. But yeah, let's get to it. And so now you can see here, we can see a little bit further out here. We can see where these hyperlanes are going to. My fleet over here on the other side is just exploring, and we're looking for worlds. If we can find worlds earlier on, the better. That'll give me a good direction to start expanding to. But for now, we are still in this first system here. I'm going to go ahead and build a second construction ship as well. I'm going to be kind of going, rushing these ships a little bit earlier on so that we can expand a little bit faster. And now we have the discovery of alien life. Now this is, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to only read the new situations. We're going to be reading through all this as if I'm playing just a normal game of Stellaris. I just want to go through the motions here. And so the Rift Gargan has made a startling find in another system. They've been surveying another planet, and it seems to be teeming with alien life. Now, for the first time in history, we have encountered life forms that did not originate on our home world. This amazing discovery has silenced those who believed we are alone in the universe. Although none of the alien creatures found on this planet are sapient, it is likely only a matter of time before we encounter beings that are. We may not be alone out there. And so we've just gained society research from the situation. And let's continue. So I believe that's going to be on our world here that we were hoping to colonize. Okay, and so I don't see anything there, but now the species on my planet are in a buzz about the alien organisms discovered some time ago. And cool, this is causing a little buzz on my planets. Now, when it comes to some situations, I might skim past them. For our first contact protocols, we are going to be greeting Xenos with open arms. On top of that, we have another tradition here available. And so let's go ahead and start this thing. So would you consider Stellaris your favorite PDX game? Absolutely. Trisha, Stellaris is hands down probably the most time I've spent on a game since I've had a computer. All right. But yeah, Stellaris is up there for me. Oh, and what did I think of the Star Trek version? I loved it. I loved how similar the Star Trek game was to Stellaris. Enjoyed it. I had a blast playing it yesterday. We will be playing some more of that here in the future. I want to learn how to get a little bit better at the game, and I can't wait to see more updates for it in the future as well. But yeah, really cool. There's a couple of different mechanics I got to figure out too. But yeah, CK3 is up there for me as well. I enjoy that game a lot as well. Now, I don't think this is a Paradox Interactive game. I think they partnered with them to work on it, but Battletech, there's a like mech game that came out some time ago. I really enjoyed that game a lot. But yeah. Thorn says, have I played or enjoyed any other Space 4X strategy games? Honestly, not as much. I haven't had the chance to really play any other like grand strategy space games like that. I know there's like, what, is it Homeworld? I've still been like waiting to get my hands on that game. There's a couple of other games out there that I've been keeping my eyes on, but honestly, Stellaris has just been keeping me so busy as is that I like them. I like it a lot. You have, well, all of them, but okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, we got our first tradition here that we're going, oh, Homeworld isn't 4X. Maybe I'm getting a game mixed up then. I can't think of the name of it. For some reason, I thought Homeworld was like Stellaris, but more complicated. Well, my apologies about that, Thorn. I thought Homeworld was, I think there's like another game that looks like Stellaris a little bit, but from what I heard, it's like really micromanagey. Distant Worlds. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's what I was meaning to say was Distant Worlds. And so, yeah, that game I've been keeping my eye on. Again, I haven't had the chance to try it out. Thinking of Moo, I'm not sure what Moo is. Yeah, but Hearts of Iron, I have not played that game before. Yeah, I think there's a few. But yeah. Yeah. Lang, what's going on? Oh yeah, Paradox published BattleTech. Hairbrained is the dev. Nice, nice. Masters of Orion. That's another game I've seen a bunch when it comes to discussing 4X grand strategy games. I haven't tried it out yet, but yeah. The original Space 4X, the original 4X game, Master of Orion. Nice, nice. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump back into this traditions. We're gonna go with To Boldly Go. This says that oh, by the way, Lang, welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you. Guys, if you don't know Lang, check him out. He's playing similar games that I play as well. Really, really fun content creator that I enjoy watching while I'm at work. Fun character there. Let's see here. Alpha Centauri. Is this another game? I have not played that one before. I've not played that. But yeah, Lang, listen, your voice, it just soothes my eardrums when I'm listening to your streams. Love it. Love it. Guys, check them out. Lang has the best mods. Nice, nice. All right, and so for Discovery, we're going with To Boldly Go. This says, a new age of exploration is upon us. As we once mapped the surface of our home world, we must now brave new terrain. Space. There's a galaxy full of wonder waiting to be discovered. And so what this tradition does is it increases my survey speed and it increases my ship disengagement chance if we encounter other like hostile ships. Sid Meier's, yeah, so I've only played like Civilization 2, 3, 4, and 6. But yeah. Oh. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and go with this tradition first. Bada bing, bada boom. And there it is. And so, yeah, we got ships moving around in the galaxy. Lang, if you're just joining, this is our first Astral Planes DLC. We started in the middle of the galaxy on a barred spiraling galaxy. This is the first time I've ever had this happen, where I start in the middle of a choke point in this galaxy shape like size before. And I've tried doing this so many times. Sometimes I'll restart the game over and over just to try to get this positioning. But of course, the first time I play this DLC, I get it. And so I think Starship is kind of underrated, but not sure I'd call it a Space 4X. Okay. Okay. I do have Star Citizen. I just got that game. I know it's not a 4X grand strategy game, but yeah. I've been lurking since start, busy playing EU4. That is another game I have not played yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Got to give that a try. Looking over here at my home world right now, it looks like we have looks like low amenities and a little bit of crime starting to brew up. And so we might have to figure out how to nip that situation in the butt. But right now it's not too bothersome for me. I don't think it's going to be really impacting my empire as much. The stability could be a little bit higher, but again, no issues there. Let's go with, honestly, I can't build another research lab because I have 0 consumer goods right now. And so I think instead, let's go with, got a couple of options here. Maybe, can't build a temple either. Let's just build another city district. I'll build one of these. We're gonna go to our features here and, I'm gonna sell a little bit of my alloys here to clear out. Let me see, can I do this? Can I do this? I sure can. We're gonna clear out a sprawling slums. The reason I'm doing this is because when you clear out this tile blocker here on your planet, it'll give you 1 extra pop. And so this is like a nice little way to get a pop really quickly. And so on top of that, let's go to our population tab here. And I just wanna see what pops are working, what jobs. And so right now we pretty much just have technician jobs and clerk jobs open. Endless Space, another game I've heard of. All these games I've heard of. I'm so warped around Stellaris right now that I just haven't had the chance to really get to them. I see that the assembling background, I feel like this looks a little different than what I've seen before. Just the background. But yeah. You think Starships is kind of underrated, but I'm not sure I'd call it a Space 4X. Nice, nice. Yeah, Sid Meier's, I gotta give that game another try. I haven't played that game in a long time, but I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't say that's a 4X strategy, or is it? I know it's like a strategy game, but that was like my first introduction into strategy games. Now, guys, in this first system here that we've surveyed right next to us, we have found Sid Meier's, I want to say 2. I had the one that was on PlayStation 2, and it was my favorite because I would create the nuke and then just start nuking everybody. That was all I would do, is just nuke the entire freaking map if I could. But Ambesia, this is our first system we have surveyed, it has a dig site, the crashed starship dig site. Now I'm going to be trying to focus as much as I can on the newer dig sites, but yeah, we'll probably get around to surveying and researching that dig site a little bit later on. And so my scientist is going to move forward. I'm going to have my construction ship go ahead and expand our borders over this one. Yeah, Civ 2. I think that was like my first like strategy game I really got into. Over here on the council, we have our Rift Lord. This is Alon Mayfield. And we're going to launch our first agenda. This is the Infinite Opportunities agenda, and this will increase citizen pop happiness by a little percentage. Actually, now that I'm launching it, it's going to increase the happiness by 10%. And we're going to jump over to our next agenda. And I have a few options here, but I think I'm going to lean towards charting the unknown. And so cool stuff here. I love having the Rift Lord as our ruler title. And yeah. There it is. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and expand our borders there next. Meanwhile, I have my second construction ship. I'm gonna have them go ahead and start building research stations since that's all I can currently build at the moment. Let's go ahead and sell some of this upkeep resource there. And we'll jump back to resources and things like that a little bit later on. But I have my fleets all the way over here. It looks like we have not found any planets nearby that we've explored just yet. On top of that, no other empires near us just yet as well. We're playing on a medium-sized galaxy with 10 other empires, 3 fallen empires in the game. And so, yeah, this is good news here. Now, we have expanded our borders for the first time. This is also good. We have another tradition. We're going to put our second tradition into the Discovery tradition tree. Again, I'm going to stay on the left side, and we're going to use the data bank uplinks. And this says that high-capacity quantum bands dedicated to data bank transfers make possible virtually completely synchronous research operations across vast distances. And so this just pretty much gives me another edict. It increases my research station output, and it increases research from starbase constructions. And so we'll just knock this one out of the park. We're going to finish this tradition as quickly as we can. We have 13 months until we get to our next tradition. And so now I am needing minerals. I need minerals to build and mine starbase, not starbases, but stations in our system. One of my leaders is leveled up, our head of research. And so Constanza Perez. Let's give them a new trait here. And you know what? I usually go for Eye for Talent to continue to upgrade or to continue to level up my leaders earlier on in the game. But let's go for some more unity here. We have the Unifier Tier 2 trait, and this is just going to give me some more unity. And so more unity from jobs and unity from more jobs if I'm not 100% sure how this works. This just says that it's a planet effect and a sector effect. And so let's just see how much this impacts my unity. Right now we're bringing in 43 unity per month. I hit the play button here. I'm going to check it in the next month. Okay, and I don't think it really did a whole lot there. We're still at 43 per month. And so not 100% sure on how that works. But if you guys know, let me know. Thorn says Stars and Shadow. Space Tyrant is a fun little minigame if you want to count Dune Spice Wars, Star Drive, Star Ruler, Interstellar Space Genesis. So there's another one, Stellaris Nexus. I've given that game a shot a couple of times in the past. Pretty fun game. It's a lot shorter than, or the runs are a little bit shorter than a official Stellaris game is, but no, yeah, that's a good one. Dune, I've been meaning to give a shot. I haven't had the chance to play that game yet. And guys, we have our first event chain. And so this is the precursors, the Erisians. And so some of these chains, you know, I'd really like to read through just so that I can like refresh my memory on them and remember what they are. This is that we've recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization. And from what we have translated so far of their language, we have learned that these aliens called themselves the Erisian Concordant. They are an interstellar power that held sway over this region of the galaxy a little over 1 million years ago. Yeah. So how so, Thorn? How would you say that Dune is its own genre? Now, the Erisians appear to have been a 6-limbed mammal, and there are several references to some sort of plague called the Javorian Pox, which swept across their empire with devastating results, possibly leading to their extinction. And so we're going to say interesting here, and cool. The Dimensional Dominion gets 10 minor artifacts from that. Very nice. Now, let's go back and check up on how many astral threads we have right now. All right, cool. So we're still collecting some, but we have ways to go before we can activate that Gaining Physics Insight Astral Action. Now, we have the Ancient Crater Dig Site upon us. Have I played Northgard? I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, no, I don't think I have. No. So high-speed impact. This is the second situation here of the ancient crater archaeological dig site that is going on our planet. And this says initial excavations into the base of the crater revealed a fully formed cylinder of impactite lodged between the Earth. Now, this vein must have originated from a meteoric impact of extremely high velocity. Now, initial calculations demonstrate the object must have arrived at nearly the speed of light. Now, we're going to go ahead and continue the excavation. Cool. And my scientist here has also leveled up. And so let's give them a new trait here. And none of these really benefit the dig site here. But I guess since when we finish this one, we'll just go with Roamer. This gives them a increased survey speed modifier for when I want them to survey after dig sites. All right, and so meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and expand our borders again. I'm going to be checking these systems here, looking for more astral rifts. Those will be important for us if we want to unlock astral actions. All right, and we're going to look here. Nope, no astral rifts right now. The only astral rift we have located, and I'm looking around right now, has been the one that is inside of our home system. And so, again, we are... I'm not seeing too many of these. Let's see here. Where are you located? What's in here? All right, and so yeah, this is how I've been able to find them. I'll just kind of like peekaboo here and there and see if there's anything nearby. And for my fleets here, we're still traveling around and about. And wow, I'm actually not seeing too many astral rifts in this galaxy, or at least near us so far. So Thorn says Dune is by the makers of Northgard and pretty similar. It is kind of sort of like an RTS with pause, although it does have a much more developed diplomatic level that runs in real time compared to traditional RTSs. Nice. Very nice. All right, guys, so back over here to our traditions. We're going to put our third tradition into discovery again. I'm trying to complete this tradition tree. And we have science division. Now, this says the number of science and medical officers has been increased throughout the fleet, organized into a special science division. To support this corps of officers, new training programs have greatly accelerated the rate at which we commission new science officers. And so this pretty much just gives me another science capacity. It gives me a scientist starting level and a research alternative. And so that's pretty cool, especially early on, having more technologies that we can research. Here, my minister, actually looks like a lot of my leaders. A lot of my leaders have some level ups. And so let's start with our main leader, Alan Mayfield, who has a trait. And I'm going to go with Spark of Genius Tier 2. Let's increase that research speed up to 6%. We have our Minister of Defense, Bernaldo. Nice, Thorn. Combat runs pretty fast. Nice. Nice. All right, so for our Rift Lord, I want him to live for a long time. Let's give him the Resilience Tier 2 trait. This increases leader lifespan by 20 years. Bingo. There's that. I want him to live for a long time. That's our first leader. And so, yeah, let's give him a nice long life if we can. And I'm going to go for Unity, the Unifier trait, again for our Minister of State. Now, excuse me. Looking around here, I see that the rest of these are, these are recruitable leaders. In that case, we've leveled up all of the leaders that we have right now. And cool, I think we should be good. Now, looking over here, I'm going to see if I can build any more mining stations, and it looks like I can. We're going to get the 3 minerals from this system. Let me grab my other construction ship, and we're going to move here next. Do you guys hear this? This is new music. What is this track called? Eternal Dance of Photons. I like it. And we have 3 new songs here that have came with the DLC: Eternal Dance of Photons, The Formless, and Through the Astral Rift. So you have lots of individual units in combat often, and you win combat by pulling back wounded units and targeting enemy wounded units. Nice. Sounds interesting. Speaking of combat, I think I'm getting a little bit better at combat in this game. I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable, like dealing with wars and things like that in this game. And that was a big hurdle for me. I used to try to stay away from wars for the longest, but now I'm starting to understand things a little bit better when it comes to playing that kind of way. Guys, let's go ahead and get another building here on our home world. I'm going to buy me some more minerals here and probably try to add... Do temples increase amenities? It looks like they do. All right, and so what I need to do first is build an industrial district so that we can have some consumer goods, at least more consumer goods. And I'm going to start by selling some food on the market for starters. We'll sell about 7 right now, leaving me with a little bit of food income per month. Let's go back to our fleet manager here. I want to make sure that I'm also building ships. I got the game paused for the moment, but yeah, we'll make sure that we'll steadily be building ships throughout the game. We'll get 2 more corvettes on the way, just in case we make first contact with another empire. And because of this reason right here, we have made first contact with an unknown entity, and I'm going to bring my ships all the way back. So I feel that way too, but I feel like, so Thorin says, I feel like in Paradox games, generally you just build a big army and then send it to fight until one side wins. Now, I used to do that, but there'd be times where I feel like I would have a fleet with bigger numbers that would still lose to other empires. And so now I've kind of learned that, you have to activate edicts if you want to get a better chance. There's just so many things, there's certain systems that you may want to fight in particular, like especially if you're playing multiplayer. I like to kind of keep my ships hidden inside of nebula systems and using that to my advantage, fighting around friendly star bases. And so there's a lot of different things, that you can add on to just having a bigger fleet than another empire. But yeah, the power of frigates I mean, cloaking your frigates and using them as ambushes, having a quantum catapult is like really cool as well. Just spawning some ships into the other side of the galaxy is really fun. And so guys, back over here on my home planet, I'm going to go with the Hollow Theater. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm going to go with the industrial district first. So we'll get this up first so that I can have some more consumer goods, and then we'll build that Hollow Theater building. But right now, resources wise, we're looking okay. And so let's look at this next situation for the Ancient Crater Archaeological Dig Site. This is the underground caverns, and this is at the termination point of the impact vein. We have discovered an expansive cave system. Pools of underground water supported thin lines of pale vegetation along the cavern walls, and at the bottom of one of these pools lies the remnant of an anonymous spherical object. Ooh. Now, it was not a natural formation, and it appears to be the source of the impact site. We must recover the object. And so what is this object, guys? Thorin says types of units, types of weapons, and yes, edicts matter, yes. And so like right now, when it comes to fleet management, I've had some friends just kind of like give me a kind of like a template to follow, and that's kind of how I've been playing. It seems to be working for me right now. Guys, we just completed planetary unification. That just gave me a little sum of unity, which is going to help me get another tradition. And for this next technology, I think I might go with hydroponic farming. Radio says, I just remember the fleet of Titans and battleships that got ate up, and the addition of frigates to fight off their frigates was game-changing. Excuse me? Yes, when I first started playing Stellaris, I think one of the biggest mistakes I was making was building too many big ships. All right. Yo, Deb, what's going on? Can you not prime subs on iOS? I'm not 100% sure about that, Dev. But how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Today we're playing the Astral Planes DLC. Whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube and you see something that you might want me to change, or there are things that I may be doing right or wrong, leave those tips and tricks in the comments below. But yeah, we're trying out this new DLC today. Just kind of have some fun here messing around. Welcome. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday as well as everyone else watching the stream. We are selecting our 4th discovery tradition here, the Polytechnic Education. And so this says that in the age of, in the age of increasingly advanced technology, a basic education in polytechnics and applied science will benefit all of our citizens. This will inevitably lead to more qualified leaders. This also increases my leader pool size by 1 and our leader experience gain by 10%. And so there we go. And we're 1 tradition away from unlocking our first Ascension perk. And so Radio Wave, thank you for those 5 gifted subs. anyone that got a sub, enjoy. I have some emotes that have been created by other creators. Radio Wave, my friend, I appreciate that a bunch. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you're hanging out with us today, as well as everyone else that got those subs as well, and everyone that's just watching, lurking, or hanging out. But appreciate that times a bazillion. Thank you, my friend, wherever you may be out there in the galaxy. Hope you're doing okay. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get our construction ship to expand our borders once again. We are expanding our sector now, and I'll kind of play this and see. Like right now, we've only found one world, and so I want to colonize this ASAP. Let's see what I need. I need 200 more food and 200 consumer goods. And that's it, really. I have the alloys already, and so I can just buy those. I can buy those, and bada bing, bada boom. We are colonizing our second planet, and Toyota, I can't even say that word. St. Pomeroy. There we go. That'll be our second planet name. We're just going to go with random names here today. For field modulation, that's our next technology we've completed. And next up, let's see, our energy credits seem to be doing okay. Oh, and we have found the Keepers of Knowledge. What a fallen empire to find first. They say, yes, we've heard it all before. We are the Barclayan Archivist, and you are the Dimensional Domain. Greetings, well met. Stay out of our space or face certain doom, and so forth. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're quite busy. Okay, Keepers of Knowledge. We're gonna say this meeting is surely a blessing. And so we have our first alien encounter. Our species are probably going crazy about it. So next up, let's go with automated exploration protocols. This is going to increase survey speed by another 25%. Earlier on in the game, I'm just going to knock out that survey speed technology so that we can get the bonuses of that and finding other empires before they find us. And so zero-G refineries is going to be my next technology here to increase mining station output. Although I don't have as many mining stations right now in the early game, still, I'm just going to go ahead and get a head start on that as well so that we can hopefully benefit from that more a little bit later on in the game. Now, ooh, we got a system here that has already have 6 minerals in it. Nice. It looks like there's a lot of asteroids in the system as well. And oh, we have found 2 more continental planets. Beautiful. Guys, the name of this song here is Our Heritage. One of my favorites, okay? One of my favorite songs. It's just so soothing, so beautiful. When I'm at work, I will literally just put the Stellaris soundtrack on. This is one of my favorites, and so I love this song so much. We've expanded our border a little bit. We got the Fallen Empire over here on this side of the galaxy. We have some unknown entity over here that we're still trying to figure out who and or what they are. Our fleets are still surveying around, just kind of figuring out what's going on. Let's bring them all back. Yes, Radio Wave, hello. I appreciate the subs again. That is very, very generous of you, my friend. And again, like I said, hopefully all is well. Let's see. I think now might be a good time to maybe build another science ship. And so I saw there was someone mentioned earlier, I think it was Trisha, about mentioning the leaders and their changes. And let's actually look at this tab here. And so I'm going to hit F5 for our leaders. And it looks like now there are a certain amount of leaders in each category that you can get. And so instead of having you can only have 10 leaders total, it's like now you can only have 3 officials, 3 commanders, and in our case here, 4 scientists. Now, is there technology that can expand these or increase them? I'm not 100% sure yet. That's why we are playing this game today, so that we can find out. And so let's see here. Yo, JGameZ, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Some new Stellaris DLC has come out today. We are trying it out now, and we just got a new game started here. Welcome. How are you doing, my friend? Hey, it's getting chilly out there. Getting a little chilly since the last time we've chatted, but yeah, hopefully you're doing all right. I'm a bit of a scientist myself, Peter. I love it. But yeah, how you doing, man? How's the stream's been going? Hopefully all is well. Yeah, we are getting a campaign started here. We're streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, and so this is going to be an interactive playthrough where you guys can make decision making for me in between each stream. And so yeah, right now we are recruiting scientists. We're exploring the galaxy. Here is a new feature in the game. It's called an Astral Rift. Right here, this is pretty much a rift, a tear in space and time. And we're gonna be figuring out what is on the other side. Now, guys, we are finishing our first tradition here. Our final discovery tradition is faith in science, and this says that the public has come to regard science as something almost akin to a religion. Their faith in it is absolute. There is no question in this universe so big that it cannot be answered by science. And so this is going to decrease my researchers' upkeep by 20%. And on top of that, when we finish the discovery tradition tree, it says that adopting all discovery traditions will grant the following additional effects. Again, increasing research speed by 10%. It grants us access to the Research Cooperative Federation type. And one of my favorite things about traditions, an Ascension perk. But yeah, we had our driveway and back porch level today. Nice. That's about it. Nice. Alrighty, and so yeah, let's go ahead and select our first one. And obviously, you know, I've been leaning a lot into science and technology. It would only just make sense here to go with technological ascendancy. And so this says that technologies that would have been indistinguishable from magic mere generations ago are now within our reach. A new age of technology has begun, and so this increases my research speed by another 10%. On top of that, rare technologies now appear at 1.5 times the normal rate, at which this effect would change a 1% chance into a 1.5% chance. And so this is the second time we've gotten a effect like this now, and so I'm assuming we should be at a 3% chance, right? Because let's go back to our civics here. Let's see. Right here, bingo, dimensional worship. This also makes rare technologies appear at a more frequent rate as well. Oh, and so this would change it to a 1.1% chance. And so that would put us at like 2.6%. Still, hey, a win's a win. And so, yeah, science rules. Bill. Yo, don't get me excited. I love me some, I used to love Bill Nye the Science Guy when I watched it when I was younger. But man, yeah, okay, so we're gonna need some more minerals here. It looks like, yeah, we definitely need some more minerals. Let's build, all right, so I have consumer goods, cool. The amenities are still a little low. I'm gonna check the jobs that are being worked, all right, and so it looks like we're getting close to filling in that final technician job. Let's build another hollow theater. And so this is going to increase the, not only unity, but amenities as well. And honestly, I probably only need this one hollow theater, and this will knock out all the amenities for a while on my planet. And I see the crime is starting to go up a little bit more, which I'm not sure why. I feel like my species doesn't have any negative traits that I know of, unless my leader does. But we'll look at leaders here really quick. Our governor and minister of state, no negative traits. For my species here, again, no negative traits. We should be getting more unity from jobs, and that actually explains why I'm unlocking traditions a little bit faster than what I usually do. Now, let's jump over here, and once we've built up some more unity, we'll go ahead and recruit a third scientist. But actually, let's go ahead and survey this system next. Have I finished this system? No, we'll finish surveying that system first, and then I want to jump over here and see about these planets here that are habitable for my species. Now, for the habitable world survey, this says that we know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to our home planet. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Now, I'm going to say we have more important matters to focus on so that we can get more unity. This will give me 346 unity, where if I were to select the other option, this would begin a habitable world survey event chain. And so let's just, again, target that unity, and that should be enough now for me to recruit another scientist. And so here I have Misaki Okada, who has that spark of genius trait, and I want that. More research speed, let's do it. And so there it is. We are also colonizing a new planet here for the first time. And let's start surveying systems over here on the opposite side of the galaxy. And so I'm gonna get a little course here plotted away. And guys, if you have not joined the Discord, there will be a link below if you're watching this on YouTube. But we have a pretty interesting event coming up this Sunday. We're having a watch party. And so I follow another friend who, when I was very new to Discord, you know, watch parties were like a really popular thing at that time. And we would watch, it was this sci-fi show called Foundation. And so I've been inspired by it. I've been inspired by it ever since. But we're gonna be watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And so if that's something you're interested in, hop up in that Discord, join us this Sunday. we have a watch party going on for that. But meanwhile, we have another first contact situation going on. And so we'll go ahead and probably not look into it too much yet. I don't want to find empires too soon unless they find me. And yes, have I read the Foundation series? I have not read it. My first intro into it, Thorn was watching it on Apple TV. But yes, maybe later on down the line, I'll definitely look into reading it. I have a list of sci-fi books that I want to read, and so Foundation, I've been told, read it. Right now, I am in the middle of reading Battlefield Earth, and so yeah, I think it's by this author. Last name is Green, and that book is phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal. And so yeah, Foundation's a little bit later on down the line for me. But yeah, Battlefield Earth is one of my favorite. I should share that list. Copy that. Yeah, I can drop that list in my in the Discord as well. I have a few on there. And like sometimes I'll be on TikTok and I follow a lot of creators that are like, excuse me, I've been having the hiccups today, guys. I follow a creator that's kind of like a bookworm, a sci-fi bookworm, and she always just shares like just little stories and things that she reads in these sci-fi books. And sometimes like I'll hear something and I'm like, wait, what? That's boggling my mind. It makes me want to read it even more. And so that's how I find out about books, is on social media. Now, guys, another thing too is when you have an archaeological dig site happening now, they've made it a little bit easier to see where that situation is taking place, because now the icon will be like highlighted as yellow. And so here we're going back to the ancient crater, and we have the ancient sphere. All right, so earlier we found out that something crashed into our planet. We didn't know what it was. We started digging. Turns out there was like plants and vegetation growing under the planet as well, or where the crash site is. And it says that we've recovered the sphere from the underground lake. It says while covered in vegetative growth, most of its remains fully intact. Its construction is a strange mix of highly sophisticated design and crude assembly. Now, perfectly smooth metallic plates cover the frontal portion of the ship, which must have reduced friction significantly upon atmospheric entry. Now, the trajectory of its resting site aligns with the vein of impactite. Now, confirming that the sphere is the source of metamorphic rock has led us here. Even more incredibly, there are signs that this vessel, it had passengers. And so who or what is on this thing, we're about to find out. This is a fascinating situation, and we get 50 minor artifacts from this. And so let's see, I also have an Astral Action available. Here it is, gaining physics insight. And so we have 250 astral threads here. We're spending those now. Bingo, baby. And now we'll get 10% more monthly physics research. And so, oh, there was something I was going to do right there. Oh yeah, let's go to our minor artifacts now. And so if we jump to our discoveries, we'll go to relics, and I have 60 minor artifacts. I'm going to sell these to a private collector. That's going to give me an extra 500 energy credits. Let's also go to our fleet manager here. I'm going to reinforce some more ships, and let's keep this game going. I want to see what else I can build on my home planet here. All right, cool. And so yes, I did build that hollow theater, and as you guys can see, the amenities are back up to 6. Not bad. Not bad at all. And so let's go ahead and build another research lab here. And I'm seeing here that I don't have enough resources for it. I'm gonna buy another 100 minerals, and let's build that research lab. And so cool stuff there. That's going to cost me 4 consumer goods. Right now I have 8 consumer goods. I also see here that we have surveyed one of the planets in the system that is habitable. Both planets will be habitable, since my species does prefer, they do prefer to colonize continental worlds. And so we're going to try to get both of those under our control. On top of that, there has been an anomaly that has been found. Ooh, and we cannot colonize this planet until we research this anomaly. This is the Megaflora anomaly. But yes, it looks like we've also found a pre-sapient species somewhere. They're not intelligent though. And so we may have found a species, but oh, both planets have anomalies on them. And the other one is a level 6 anomaly. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay, and so on top of that, we have not found any other astral rifts in the galaxy just yet. That was a pretty cool looking system. Let me see here. Yeah, wow, I'm surprised. And we need to see what's going on down here towards the bottom of my borders. Now for our next engineering technology here, since I'm lacking a little bit on the minerals, let's lean into geothermal fracking technology next. That way we can start increasing our mineral output from our pops. Let's go ahead and keep this game going. We have some more physics research stations that we can build. And I'm going to move my other construction ship up here now. Although we can't colonize both of these planets, I still want this system inside of my borders. And let me see, I know I have another scientist. Okay, so they're still researching the archaeological dig site that we have going on down there. So let's just go ahead and keep sending this scientist up here. Ooh, I see a very nice choke point. Wow. So this one choke point right here, if I could secure this, I could eventually end up securing this entire cluster right here. And so that's why choke points are very important to try to expand your borders to in the early game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just completed our first archaeological dig site. This is the ancient crater finale. We have the ancestor situation, and it says we have recovered a cache of documents from within the ancient sphere, each written in an archaic version of our own language. Several of these mention names associated with our most sacred legends. An intricate network of ladders snake upward from the impact site to a massive tunnel system. Based on the varying ages of the rope fibers, these caverns must have been occupied for several generations as the crash survivors worked their way towards the surface. However, nothing we'd discovered this far would have prepared us for the final revelation. One of the upper chambers contained a burial site. DNA analysis conducted on the remains within revealed a shocking truth. These people are our ancestors. While where exactly they came from or why this place was forgotten is yet unknown. The salvage documents are in a poorly preserved state, but we have recovered a data log from the sphere. It clearly shows that vessels arrived in our star system by means of the astral rift near our home planet. That astral rift being this one right here behind us. Yes, right here above my noggin. And so with some study, we should be able to replicate and even improve upon the technology required to construct a vessel with these dimension spanning capabilities. And so we have found our birthplace, and it's in the rift. All right, and so with this, we get 10 more minor artifacts, and we get tech progress gained towards rift sphere technology. And so there goes the ancient crater archaeological dig site that was in our home system. And so our scientist here, Chauta, has gained another trait, and we're gonna give her the roamer trait. Bada bing, bada boom. And so let's grab this scientist, and we're gonna go ahead and start surveying down here towards the bottom. I want to see what's going on in these systems here in hopes that we can hopefully find another rift here. And usually early on in the game, I like to be the one controlling what systems they survey first, because sometimes the automatic exploration can kind of be sporadic, and they just kind of do their own thing. And so oh no, this might be a race for space here. Let me get my construction ship here as soon as we can, and hopefully we can build a starbase here first. I don't know what kind of ship this is. Okay, it looks like it might be a science ship, but I may be wrong. Who's going to get... Okay, cool. It's a science ship. So we'll try to get our hands on that system right away, but I'm going to guess there may be an empire somewhere in this cluster of systems. Let's grab our other construction ship, and we're going to bring them back over here. And I'm going to start building star bases over here as well. We have about 7 energy credits that we could exploit in that system alone. Now, back in my home system, let's go ahead and build our first city district in the system that we haven't built in a while. Reason being, I want to open up some building slots, and yeah, we're going to be needing some other resources here in a second. Now, we have society and physics technology open. For society tech, I'm going to lean into genome mapping to increase pop growth speed by a little bit. And then for physics technology, I got to lean into that rift sphere tech. And so this says that it seems that space and time tend to gather technology in layers, all laid on top of one another. The trick is how to slip between folds. And so this is the technology that we got from completing that astral or that archaeological rift that we had on our home planet. Or not a rift, the archaeological dig site. And once we finish this will allow our science ships to explore astral rifts.
The faithful have claimed.
All right, now on top of that, we have colonized our first planet outside of our home world. St. Pomeroy. And what's really cool about our leaders now is that instead of only being able to assign governors to planets as leading your planets, now you can assign your admirals, you can assign governors as always, and scientists as well. And so for our governor on this planet, let's see here, I think I'm gonna go with our scientist Chauta. Actually, I'm gonna hold that thought there. I'm gonna see what happens if I put my Minister of Defense on governor duty, and if they're still going to be controlling my fleet. I see. So if you have a leader that is going to be a governor, they will be taken away from their ship if they're assigned to a ship already. But yeah, cool stuff there. We now have a governor on our second planet. And with that being said, let's see. Okay, so this leader doesn't really have anything that... Yeah, there's not really like too many major bonuses from them governing this planet right now. But let's go ahead and start building some buildings on this world. And again, I'm going to sell some resources here so that I can acquire some minerals. And we'll just buy a bulk load of minerals right there so that I can get a few buildings up on this planet. Now, looking at this world here, it looks like we have a lot of industrial districts. And so I think I'm going to designate this world to be a, what's the name? A factory world. I want to get some more consumer goods. I want to build some more research labs and temples so that we can increase our unity and our tech score. But in particular, for this world, mostly tech for starters. And so that city district is on the way. After that, I'm going to look into building, we'll get that research lab up ASAP. And that'll be the last research lab I can build for a bit, since we are going to be lacking. Actually, I might have to hold off on building that for now to avoid the negative deficit there. We'll also need some energy credits as well. And if I remember correctly, let's see, I'm going to build a generator district for now. I might replace these a little bit later on, but I think we should have the energy grid building. Now, let me see what's burning into my energy credits right now. It looks like most of it's coming from those districts. So we'll have to keep that in mind here a little bit later on. But we do have some energy credits here that we can go ahead and exploit. Thank goodness we got control over this system. And it looks like we have found some volatile motes. Uh-oh. And we have found an empire over here as well as a never forget archaeological dig site. Now... it does not look like it is a empire that has made claims on this system. It looks like there's just some, I want to say mining drones. Not sure what kind of species that is, but their fleet power is sitting at only 356. And so I could actually send my fleets in here and we can get some target practice going. Let's go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to assign our admiral. Let's get them off the planet and back into a ship. And let's get them some XP here in combat. All right, and so besides that, we are about 10 years into the game so far. Not too shabby. I was hoping to find some more astral rifts out there, but nonetheless, we are doing okay. And for our next tradition here, let's see. We could go with supremacy. We could go down the diplomacy route. I haven't found any other empires yet, and so let's lean into prosperity. This says there is no better indicator of success or failure of a star nation than the strength of its economy. And so adopting this tradition will give us a new agenda, favored society, and it increases our mining station output by another 20%. And so I'm really leaning into the mining stations early on. I want to try and increase the resources that we're getting per month right now. And it looks like it's increased it a little bit. The energy credits went from 2 up to 6. And so now we're having our first election here. It looks like right now the Rift Lord Alan Mayfield is currently getting the most support, but only by 5. And so that'll be an indicator for who will be the next leader of the Dimensional Dominion Empire. Now we're gonna go ahead and continue expanding our borders in this direction next. Honestly, I might want to expand my borders here just in case. I don't know what's over here, but yeah, we're gonna see what's up with the fleet combat here in a second. Let's go back to our second world here that we've colonized, and oh, I had the game pause. All right, I was like, nothing's moving. But yeah, we have that city district on the way, and
complete.
what do we want to do here? Oh, excuse me, guys. I hope you delete. I had a little bit of a long day at work today, guys, and so I may be feeling the fatigue here a little bit, but we're gonna keep on pushing on through the stream
Survey
today.
complete.
All right, and so yes, my scientist is surveying more systems. There it is. We've expanded our borders, and let's exploit these energy credits. Nice. Very nice. All right, so here we go. We are about to attack what I believe are mining drones.
Anomaly found.
And let's watch our fleets kick some butt here. I'm actually curious to see how this battle goes. And Alan Mayfield has been re-elected as Rift Lord of the Dimensional Dominion. All right, so here we are duking it out with these strange beings in the galaxy.
Survey complete.
All right, and while that battle is going on, I'm pretty sure we got that one for grabs. Bingo, baby. That is our first victory in combat. Now, their damage output was really high, but their hit ratio was really low. And so we destroyed all the ancient mining drones. They only destroyed one of my corvettes. Nice. My hit ratio was a little bit higher than theirs as well. What did they have? They had small cutting lasers. And so that was doing damage to my hull and my armor. And they did about 50% damage to my shields. This is why I like to run with a lot of shields. Or this is why I like to run with a lot of armor. Because they did 150% damage, or they would have. That damage to armor was 150% effective. And so with me building mostly armor, we pretty much stack up against that effectiveness. And for us, we did a lot of damage to their hull. 92% effectiveness to their armor. Cool. And let me go back and I want to look at our fleet management so that I can remember how this all works again. And so for our corvettes, we got flak batteries. This does shield penetration and shield damage, but it decreases armor damage. But that's why we have these red lasers. The red lasers will damage armor and hull damage. They'll do armor and hull damage, but lacking the shield damage. And so where we lack at shield damage with the lasers, we make up for with flak battery. Or actually, did I get that backwards? Yeah, no, I got that right. Armor damage with lasers, shield damage with flak batteries. All right, and so there goes that, our first victory there. Now we can have our scientists actually go ahead and here, I want to research the debris. Yes, we'll research that debris in the system, and then I'm going to have them go ahead and just continue surveying around and seeing what's going on in this pretty much empty galaxy we got going on right now. Okay, and so back to my other scientists up here. We have found another dig site. This is the Moon Bump dig site. It's got a little bit of difficulty level going there, but we'll come back to that later on. I want to survey these two systems next. We're going to pass those dig sites for now and keep working on pushing forward. So I'm going to expand my borders again as well. And that is going to be all the influence I have for a bit. We're going to have to build some more influence here if we want to expand again. But let's go ahead and build some more ships here. And so jumping back to the fleet manager, it looks like we have some factions that have been formed, and we'll check these out in a moment. Let's reinforce some more ships here. Let's also bring our fleets back to our home system. The system opening, that's where we have an opening rift. And as soon as we finish that rift sphere technology, we're probably going to dive into our first astral rift. We're going to see what situations happen here. Now we have signs of precursor activities, cool stuff. Oh, cool. And we're starting to come across a nebula here.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
All right. And so geothermal fracking technology has been completed.
Anomaly
And next up, let's go for what in the world am I looking at? What the heck is this? This says someone is trying to establish contact with us. We hear the rush of flowing liquid in the distance and the squawking of wing flapping and tiny avians taking flight. The transmission seems to be coming from a thriving biome. And we're going to say hello. They say there's no response. And I say hello about 50 times. Hello, 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 hello. No one responds, and so we're going to go ahead and end communications, but that is bizarre. What is that? What is that? And so here we have an event chain on a planet here. It says our colony, St. Pomeroy, this is the planet we just colonized here. It says that we have apparently settled in the back of a gargantuan amphibian reptile whose bony shell is formed of various exotic minerals. Most of what we thought were local islands have turned out to be these creatures. Wow. Our colonists have begun to refer to them as Nemas. Now, they seem harmless enough as long as we don't dig too deep into their shell. They should barely notice us. I'm going to say carry on. But wow, we're actually living on ginormous Pokemon. And so this is going to begin the Nema World Event Chain. And we also have the Moving Island modifier added to this planet that's going to decrease housing by 10%. But it does increase society research by 15%. And so this might have to be a tech world for me instead.
Debris analyzed.
Awesome. We also managed to research the debris that we got from destroying those ancient mining drones. And for our next engineering technology, let's go with ion thrusters. I want to increase the speed of our ships. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now for my construction ships here, again, we are lacking the influence to be able to really expand right now. I think we need about, what, 75? Somewhere around that range, but we need more than what we have now. And so again, we're going to hold off on expansion, and let's go with, for our Minister of Defense, they have a new trait here that we can select. And I think I might lean towards aggressiveness, increasing that ship fire rate by another 5%. As long as they're commanding that fleet, they will be able to deal damage a little bit faster.
Survey complete.
All right. And so, uh-oh, they're back. It says someone is attempting to contact us again. This time we hear the sounds of the biome from earlier, but still nobody is present. And so now we have two options. They say that we can either trace the source of the transmission or say that this is a waste of time. I'm leaning towards the trace of the source of transmission.
Situation log updated.
But we'll research that a little bit later on. All right, and so I've expanded my borders over here a little bit. Same up here towards the top.
Construction complete.
And we have another archaeological dig site in our borders as well. I'll go ahead and build a mining station. Let's level up our Rift Lord here. Ooh. And I'm actually gonna go with Mining Rush. This increases minerals from jobs by a small percentage. And then for our Minister of States, this is a Lanor Conley. Let's go with the Trader trait. This increases trade value by 15%. That's pretty good. I'll take that. And that should give us some more energy credits, since that's what our energy credits are being diverted towards. Awesome. And so besides that, let's see here. Our fleets have been fully repaired. And what is this? We have a new tab here. So earlier I mentioned we're going to look at our factions. Let's pull up this tab here for them now. It's up here in the new UI. And here we have the Xeno Rights League, the Democratic Rights Coalition, and the Conclave of Exalted Clergy. Now, I saw this game on Steam and just wanted to check it out. Ace Furface, love the name. Welcome. I'm Alpha Delete. I play a lot of Stellaris. I stream it very frequently. If you have any questions, let me know. If I can't answer it, someone in my community can help you out with it. But hey, let's see here. Casey Purcell, thank you for the follow as well. But yeah, this is a 4X grand strategy game, and so I don't know if you've played any other strategy games, maybe like Civilization, but pretty much in this game you can expand your borders, or pretty much what 4X means is expand, exploit, exterminate, and explore. And you can do all of those things all at once. And so yes, think of it as like Civilization, but instead of turn-based, everything is happening all at once. And so like right now I have 10 other empires that are in the galaxy that I haven't discovered yet. Now this kind of light shade right here are systems that I have a little bit of intelligence on. Now when I zoom in here, this little blue border that I have are systems that are under my control. Now what I'm doing right now, and what you'll usually do in the early game, is expand your borders a little bit so that you can start exploiting resources. And what I mean by that is, like, say for instance, like right here, you can see this little bitty icon right here. This is letting me know that there are energy credits in this system. Some systems might have minerals in them. Some systems might have another type of resource in it. And so depending on what your goals are, you'll want to, maybe expand your borders over certain things, maybe go for certain choke points. Now your ships can travel through these lines here. And so that's how we use our ships to travel, whether it be through one line, through here, through here, through here. Think of those are kind of like roads through the galaxy. But yeah, you find other empires, you use diplomacy with them. Some empires might hate you from the start. Some empires will absolutely love you. Sometimes you'll go to war with other empires. There are so many different things that happen in this game. it's all about what you want and what you get out of it. Me personally, I like to just kind of mix things up a little bit, tinker around with things that may work together, things that might not work together, try to make things happen. I love role playing a whole lot. In today's case, the Astral Planes DLC just came out, and so that is what we're looking at today. If I zoom in on my home system right here, this is my home planet. And this bright light right here, this is a tear in space. And this is a new feature that just came out today in Stellaris. It adds a whole bunch of storytelling and branching narrative options in the game. And so there's like a number of different ways that situations can unfold in these like areas here. Excuse me. Hopefully it's not too confusing right off the back. But yeah, there's a lot to this game here. And so for technology wise, we have another 31 months until we unlock the Astral Rift exploration technology. Once I unlock this, I will be able to send my science ships into a Astral Rift. And that is what this, oh my goodness, that super bright light is now. And so yeah. Now back over here to our factions. Yeah, we have these 3 factions that have just created on my home planet, or just in my empire as a total. And I'm probably going to lean into, what do we want to go with? Xeno Rights League, the Democratic Rights Coalition, or the Conclave of Exalted Clergy. We got options here. And actually, I think I might go with the Democratic Rights Coalition. They want us to have a benevolent subjugation policy, which, you know, that's not hard to change here. But this is the biggest faction we have. They have 14 members, 14 supporters in our empire supporting this faction. The guiding edict, or the guiding ethics of this faction, are egalitarian, which is one of our ethics. And there's only, that benevolent subjugation policy is the only issue we're not really addressing right now, but we're still getting a decent amount of unity from this faction. And so I'm going to manage it, and we're going to promote this faction. I want other members of other factions to join this one so that we'll get more unity from this faction. And yeah, it'll be a little bit easier for us to do that, since think of factions as certain pops wanting you to play the game in a certain way. And so cool stuff there. There goes our factions. For our policies and edicts, I believe it was the pre-FTL. Let's see here. Subjugation war terms, they wanted it to be set to benevolent. And so what this says is that our subjects are as much part of us as we are of them. Their success is our victory, and we shall move forward as one. And so we'll do this, and that should make that faction happier. Okay. Maybe not yet. Okay, that's kind of bizarre. I thought it would work. Oh well, maybe we'll come back to it a little bit later on, but did I do that the right way? I want to double check here. I'm going to assume so. I'm not sure how that's working there, but nonetheless, we're going to keep moving on here. I'm checking out, let's see, how much dark matter have I built up? I built up 168 dark matter, and so we used the gaining physics Astral Action earlier, and I'm going to double down on the physics technology and go with the Baryonic Insight. This is a edict that will increase monthly physics by another 10%. And so we're going to activate that, and we're going to use this until I run out of dark matter. And so right now I have 167 of it. I activated this, and when we run out, then I'll slow down on using that. Now let's go back to our planets. It's been a while since we've looked at our second colonized world. This is St. Pomeroy. And we were needing energy credits for a bit, but I think we're okay right now. Next up, let's go for, what do we want? I know we need more consumer goods, and so maybe I'll go ahead and, ooh, I want to use this. I do. The thing is, it's going to cost me a lot of minerals right now. So instead, I think I might jump towards, what do we have? We could rush a little bit more Unity. Let's give it a shot. I haven't like really ran for Unity in a while. We'll split this up. We'll make this a Unity planet for the time being. And like I said, earlier on in the game, I just kind of try things out just to see how they work. And then later on in the game, I might just completely change the buildings on those planets. For our next tradition here, I'm going to go with adaptive bureaucracy so that we can get some more edicts to add to our edict fund. Speaking of which, let's see what we have active right now. We still have Map the Stars and that Insight one that increases that physics research. And right now my physics research is at 61. Nice. Very nice. Back over here on my home world, we have opened up a planet's, a building slot that we can add a job to. And I'm going to add a, got some options here. Really, I think I might just add a mining district. Parts of me doesn't want to waste it on a district here, but we've also found Zro. Wow, that'll be a good technology or a good resource to try to exploit later on. Now, let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I see we're starting to run a little low on food. Parts of me wants to change this industrial district, cut back on some of those, and maybe add a different type of district. Let's just add another. Ah, man, I'm torn between decisions right now. Let's see. Maybe I'll go with another research lab. Let's get that started. Back over here on St. Pomeroy, we're gonna go ahead and try to build a industrial district as well. Although it is going to burn into my minerals, we should be okay. And I'm going to stop selling just about maybe 2 more food. That way we don't run into a negative deficit there. And we'll bounce back and forth later on. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made first contact with the Savantian Synergetics. This is a ruthless capitalist empire. We're going to greet them with positive first contact protocols. And let's see what's up with this empire over here. So they're currently suspicious of us. Understandable. It's first contact. They're actually harming our relation. I'm going to try to counter that by improving the relation. And we'll see if we can make friends of them. Let's see what our relationship changes to here in the next month. Okay, it increased, but now they're suspicious of us. And so they've closed their borders to us. I don't have a reason to close mine to them yet. We're not even near them. So we're going to change that though. We're not near them, but we're going to get closer to them by expanding our borders again. And over here, it looks like, yeah, there aren't many astral threads in any of these systems that I've seen so far. This is going to be kind of sad here because you need astral threads to unlock more astral actions. And if we don't have astral actions, well, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but other empires just might. Okay, so besides that, let me scope out what's going on up here. Surely there's got to be another astral rift somewhere. None. All right, yeah, there seems to be a, what is this? It looks like a space station. Not sure 100% what's going on over there, but we'll keep an eye on that area. And we have a daring discovery. It says our colony at St. Pomeroy, which it turned out when we colonized the planet, we ended up colonizing these massive like alien creatures. We thought that the creatures were like continents, but no, they're creatures. And so it says that the adolescents of this new world have sought to create entertainment for themselves. Now, as youth are wont to do, some groups have made a game of sneaking up as close as they dared to local Nima's head. Now, these are the species that we were talking about before that are ginormous monsters. Unfortunately, this daring activity has led to tragedy. After startling the beast, several young Mishars fell off the neck of the massive creature, resulting in injuries and 1 fatality. Now, distraught colonists are now asking for something to be done about these brutish behemoths. And yeah, I'm going to do something about this. And so this is going to start a project to study the Nima. Now, let me go over here and see what is required of that situation. So this is the Nima world situation. We're going to research this, and it's going to take me 6 months. I don't see what the requirements are for it, but we're going to go ahead and get that thing started. And so yeah, if my pops are going to be living on a planet, I want to make sure they're safe. And my colonies are not in danger. Meanwhile, everything else seems to be going pretty well with my empire. We got another system we've expanded to. And honestly, I might just expand here and then stop expanding in that direction for a bit. Now, charting the unknown. This is going to increase our survey speed by 100%. That's very fast, all right? And after that, let's go ahead and expand the council. Expanding the council is going to allow me to put another member on our Dimensional Dominion Council here. And I think we'll be able to get more bonuses across our empire for that. Now, we have our next tradition. We're still going to be leaning into prosperity. I'm going to try to complete this tradition today. But for starters, we're going to lean into administrative operations. And this says that as our empire continues to grow, eliminating corruption and inefficiency is a critical importance. These credits drains must be plugged. And so this will decrease building upkeep and district upkeep both by 10%. This is just going to give me a nice little boost here towards my resources. But over time, as I colonize more worlds, that bonus will steadily pick up. Now, Spark of Genius, we're leaning into that again next.
Survey complete.
Of course, we got situations going on up here. Now's the time where I start to allow my scientists to explore and survey systems on their own since they're a little bit further out. And now I have a big chunk of my sector in this direction pretty much secured. Over here, my sector is still expanding as well. But yeah, we have this ruthless capitalist empire. Okay, so our relationship's going up a little bit, but it looks like it's going back and forth. Now, they have a belligerent diplomatic stance. Let's build some more ships here, because if an empire has that belligerent diplomatic stance, yo, Bobber, hello, welcome to the Astral Planes DLC stream here. We've made first contact with another empire, and I'm trying to build up some more ships here so that they don't decide to attack us if our fleets are weaker than theirs. But I don't think our fleets are weaker than theirs.
Complete.
All right, and so yeah, we have the Nima Task Force. Man, this planet we colonized, St. Pomeroy, it's causing some stirs. It's causing some situations to happen here. So having tasked our best biologists and engineers with devastating potential solutions for the Nima Dilemma on St. Pomeroy, the Nima Dilemma, I like that. Several proposals are now ready to be presented. We've considered everything from the most rational to the most extreme of ideas. The urgency of the situation demands we must skip straight to live field testing. And so we're going to breed more Nimas and safeguard them for more living space. Ooh. And so we can start the Nima breeding program. What? All right, so let's go ahead and research this. This is going to cost me 2,000 society tech points. And it's going to take me about 30 months to research. But again, for the safety of my species, we will make sure they're living on that planet and as safe as they possibly can. All right, and again, we're looking for astral rifts in the galaxy. How's the new DLC going? Looking at the year, I guess only differences are new leaders. And so for starters, we picked a new origin. We picked the Rift World origin, and what this does is it starts us with a archaeological dig site on our home planet, which we've already went through it, so I won't spoil it for you now. But we have that, and then we have an astral rift right here, and this is inside of my home system. And so that's one of the new features. The leaders are a little different. With our leaders, there's certain amounts of leaders that you can have for each category. And so right now I have 4 out of 4 scientists. I have 1 out of 3 commanders, 1 out of 3 officials, and that's how it's running now. Also, with your leaders, admirals, scientists, and governors all can govern planets. So that's a little bit of a change there. Guys, we have found another empire, the Dian Hierarchy, and they are erudite explorers. Nice, so they're xenophiles as well. We're gonna say love is friendship, set to music, and say hello to these guys. And they're up here towards the top of our borders. Nice, now we're gonna go ahead and try to expand our borders again. I want these systems under my control. Bobber says, hopefully I will try it out later and one of my Stellaris friends gather for the session. Nice. Hey, let me know what you think, man. It's a lot of fun. I'm always excited around this time when new Stellaris DLC drops. I feel like there's like this hypeness that goes on, and I'm always looking forward to it. And so, oh my goodness, we are making first contact with all these empires out here in the galaxy. And guys, we have now completed Rift Sphere technology. It says we've developed technology that will allow us to slip between the folds of an astral rift, aka rift spheres. Constructed of a highly advanced, perfectly smooth nanomaterial, the sphere is able to frictionlessly glide through turbulent areas of space and time. As we ensure where we will arrive, each rift sphere is connected to an anchor cable and to pull us back in case of an emergency. The cable is tethered to the science ship in our universe. Let's see what we can find. And so now we will be able to explore the astral rift that is in my home system. All right, and so let's grab our scientist that is all the way over here. Honestly, I don't see any astral rifts over here, and so I'm going to bring them over here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and explore this astral rift. And so this is what the DLC is primarily about. We're going to get in there, see what's going on, and then drop back. Now, the Dian hierarchy wants to form a non-aggression pact with us. Let's agree. Let's agree for that one. We will definitely do that. We will have a friend. The Astral Rift exploration technology is complete. And since I'm currently lacking a little bit on resources, let's go with global energy management next so that we can unlock the energy grid building. On top of that, I now have the astral splitting astral action. And so I've been mentioning before that we don't have a lot of astral rifts inside of our borders. We need those. Now, since we've completed our first astral, or not astral rift, since we've completed, how did I get this? I don't even remember how I got that. I think I got it from the astral rift technology we just completed. But now that I have this, once I get 300 astral threads, I will be able to create a astral rift in a random system that I control. Now, in order to do this, the system cannot have a adjacent astral rift next to it. All right. And so I can use this a total of 4 times. And that's perfect because, like I said, right now, I don't have a lot of astral rifts in my systems. I can use this 4 times to open up astral rifts. And so we'll do that a little bit later on. Right now, I still have an astral rift that we're going to go ahead and explore right away. And this is where the fun begins. All right, and so right now I see that I'm currently lacking a little bit on the consumer goods. Now, down here, it looks like I found a tropical world. The thing is there's hostile aliens there, and so we're going to go ahead and avoid that system for now. And I'm just going to go ahead and have this scientist start surveying other systems nearby. Now, the sooner I can get here and expand my borders, the better. Let's see. We've also expanded our borders up here as well. Like I said, I want to get this Zro in my hands. If I can get that special resource under my control, that would be very, very nice. Now, we have another hostile species here. What is this? They're both alien vessels now. Oh, that's a 5K fleet. Forget that. We're not going in that system. No thanks. I don't think we're strong enough for that. But we got a nebula nearby, and you know what? I'm going to send my ships the other way so that we can explore these systems instead.
Complete.
And bingo, we got everything we wanted out of this system. We are soon to be exploring our first astral rift, and we have an encounter here. Nice, nice. Another first contact situation. Now, we're starting to find other empires out there in the galaxy. I'm going to go ahead and just start first contact protocols with other empires then. But here's our funky little border here. We're kind of stretched long ways. A little wide border here. Only 2 systems outside of our sector. And oh, what is this? What? Mysterious Guardians? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is this funky dead planet. Guys, it is so cool here that I am able to zoom in on this system now without any laggage in the game. But it says a large number of mirages are clustered around a planet covered in the carcasses of some alien life form. Having no information on those entities, we can only speculate on their behavior. And so I believe this starts like either a first contact or like a situation there. All right, and so yeah, we have our scientist that has tethered into an astral rift. Ship and crew will be unavailable until the exploration is complete. And so now we are diving into an astral rift. And this is where you guys come into play, okay? Now, if you're not already following me on YouTube, I highly recommend it because we're going to be ending the stream off with a decision. And ooh, the Synergetics are now declaring us a rival. For what? What did we do to you guys? Absolutely nothing. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're not doing anything to them, and that's why they're declaring us rivals. But yeah, we have our first rivalry in the galaxy, and there it is. And oh, we have found 3 empires now. Going to imagine that's a federation. Somebody started with a federated origin there.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
We have ion thruster technology. Next up, we're gonna go for afterburner tech next so that our ships can travel a little bit faster in the galaxy. And let's expand our borders again if we can. We need 4 more influence.
Anomaly found.
Just 4 more. Just 4 more. All right, and meanwhile, let's go back to our second world here. This world, we have about 4 jobs available, and the only jobs... Oh, wow, we have plenty of specialist jobs here. I wish I can get rid of these colonists. All right. Yo, Kodak, what's going on? Gotta get to your rivals faster so you can crush them? Exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh, you want to talk smack? How about we come to your borders and then we'll see who's talking smack now. But yeah, you got the right idea. We might have to squash them before they become a problem for us. We do have our ships maxed out right now, so we're at our naval capacity, but depending on we have neutral relations right now. I might have to shift my envoys away from them. Oh, and we got hostile empires to our borders down here. Interesting situations here. Very interesting. We'll keep this thing going here. We have a Astral Action available. And right now, like I said, I don't want to use the astral splitting just yet. We're going to go back with gaining physics insight for a bit. I want to take the advantages of getting more science earlier on so that we can get our tech up higher than the other empires.
Special project complete.
Kill them all, maybe not all of them, but we'll see what's up. Now, guys, we got the Expand Archipelago. Now it says, after initial trials with the adult specimen, our zoologists have set up a Nima breeding program on St. Pomeroy. This is the second planet the first planet we've colonized outside of our homeworld, in hopes of introducing a giant Nima to our oceans. Now, the breeders warn that this cannot continue indefinitely, and that the planet can only support 3, perhaps 4 more Nimas. Now, the estimated time until we have our next Nima should be about 10 years. And so we're going to go ahead and commence the breeding. We're going to get these big beasts expanding
Anomaly found.
Our space on planet St. Pomeroy. Now, we have what looks like it's a little differently than what it was before, a veteran level being reached, and now there are 4 different veteran levels that we can select. We have Explorer, Scholar, Analyst, and Statistician. Now, for this head of researcher here, let's go with Scholar. Actually, this is my head of researcher, so they won't be able to do any archaeology excavating or anything like that. So they probably won't benefit from that. Instead, I might just have them go ahead and go with, this right here, the Statistician. So since they are on the council, they'll get a 5% research speed modifier from this veteran class level. Let's do it. On top of that, we have a first contact situation going on. We'll go ahead and continue with that. I have my construction ships up here. Let's go ahead and expand our borders, and we will now have Zro within our borders, although we cannot exploit it just yet. It is still nice to have within our borders here. Okay, and so besides that, I think we're doing pretty solid so far. Not too shabby. We're completing all sorts of surveys here, and we have our first rift situation. This is the ruined planet rift situation. All right. This is our voyage into the rift near our home planet has delivered us into the orbit of a planet in ruins. Ooh. Now, upon entering the atmosphere, we discovered a landscape pockmarked with burning craters. Here and there, warships lay half buried in the sands. This world is a battlefield. Now, intercepted radio transmissions are frenzied and unnerving.
What is your profession?
Yo, Simon CV, thank you for the raid. We're getting to the point where I'm going to be having you guys voting on a situation here in our game. And so right now, well, first of all, everyone from Simon's TV's community, welcome. I saw Simon was playing some Astral Threads earlier in Stellaris. Simon, how did it go? Were you able to explore any of the Astral Rifts? Speaking of Astral Rifts, right now, we are looking into our first Astral Rift. And so we have the situation, the Ruined Planet. Now, I'm streaming this over on YouTube as well. There's a link to that. We're going to get to a point in this rift where there will be a decision. All right. And that's where we're going to stop the stream at today. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the point where there's going to be a decision. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to make for our stream here leading from today to tomorrow. Whatever the vote is on, you guys will be able to decide what I do in this ruined planet archaeological or rift exploration dig site. And so going to lurk to avoid spoilers, copy that. But yes, if anyone here from Simon TV's communities here, we just started our first rift here. This is our first rift site that we're exploring right now. But yeah, but stream was great. Looking forward to more. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm having an absolute blast with this right now. We have a couple of astral actions which we'll look at after the situation here, but let's restart back at the beginning. And so guys, we have the ruined planet situation going on. We went into an astral rift, we found this world, and apparently it says our voyage into the rift near our home world has delivered us into the orbit of a planet in ruins. It says upon entering the atmosphere, we discovered a landscape pockmarketed with burning craters. Here and there, warships lay half buried in the sands. This world is a battlefield. Now, we intercepted a radio transmission and are frenzied and unnerving. Now, incredibly, the language of the inhabited matches precisely with the documents we recovered from the ancient sphere beneath our home planet. That's leading back to the rift sphere technology that we researched earlier. We found out that there was an object that crashed into our planet, and it was our ancestors. And so what happens next is that rough translations indicate that these people are on the losing side of an enduring conflict. Their foes, referred to simply as the invaders, are preparing another wave of attacks. Given the devastation of this planet, it may well be the last. And so we're going to search for the remaining survivors, guys. And this is going to lead us to the next stage of the ruined planet. And so if you guys are just now joining the stream here, matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and just do a quick little recap of what's been happening right now. We started on a barred spiraling galaxy here, right? I was lucky enough to start right in the middle of the galaxy. And so if you don't know, a barred spiraling galaxy are like two sides of a galaxy connected by one single choke point. That one single choke point is right here. And so our home system is right in the middle of it, right? We started with the Rift World Origin. That's a new origin that starts you with a astral rift in your home system, and you start with an archaeological dig site on your home world, in this case, the Ancient Crater. Now, we've already went through it. If you want to, you can go back and check it on the YouTube channel. We're going to be saving this as a VOD. But yeah, that's all happened so far. We've only found one astral thread, and if we go to our discovery tab here, we have two astral actions. We have the gaining physics insight. This just gives me a little bit extra monthly physics research, and then we have the astral splitting, and so that gives me the ability to create an astral rift in a random system, and I can use this up to 4 times. This is perfect for the empire I'm playing with right now because we were not able to find many astral rifts so far. And so on top of that, if we go to our empire here, my empire is called the Dimensional Covenant. I take that back. We're the Dimensional Dominion, okay? And we're a Dimensional Covenant type of empire. And so here's my Rift Lord, Alan Mayfield. And yeah, we have a new civic here, the Dimensional Warship. And so what this does is it allows me to build a Dimensional Shrine Starbase building in systems containing a wormhole, an astral scar, an astral rift, an L-gate, or a shroud tunnel. And so what these dimensional shrines do is they generate more astral threads, and the chance for astral rifts to appear in systems I control will be increased by 100%. On top of that, it increases the amount of times that rare technologies appear, and oh yeah, it has some leader traits and abilities that it adds as well. And so that's pretty much the gist of this game so far. We're about 16 years into this run, and we are just now starting our first astral rift excavation. And so besides that, we've colonized 2 worlds already. The second world I've colonized has moving islands. There are beasts that we've colonized, and we're trying to pretty much manage that as best as we can. We've just completed global energy management technology, and this gives me the energy grid buildings. Now, for my next physics technology here, let's go with the zero-G laboratories. This will increase research station output by 10%. I know we have a few physics deposits that we're already exploiting. I see here that my food has just dropped down a little bit as well, and so we're going to sell just a little less food here to avoid any negative deficits. In this case here, for my special resources, with the other civics we selected, it allows me to, well here, let's look at it first. It's the Dark Consortium civic, and this gives me dark matter from scientists by just 0.2. And so I can generate some dark matter, not a whole lot. but I've built up a little bit of it, and now I'm using it for edicts that we get from that civic as well. So if I go to my policies and edicts, we have the Baryonic Insight edict active, and this just increases my monthly physics research for an extra 10%. And so the reason I'm doing this right now is because a lot of the astral actions kind of revolve around, not all of them, but some of them revolve around physics technology, and I want to get a head start on it. So that's what we have so far. We also have Mapping the Stars edict active as well. And besides that, we have an empire that has just declared us a rival, and another empire over here that is a little bit more friendlier towards us. And speaking of these guys, let's go ahead and establish a embassy with this empire. We have one empire that has declared us a rival, and so we're going to go ahead and brace ourselves for that. That whole shenanigans over here, it looks like we've expanded our borders, and we have found rare crystals. Nice. Nice. Those special resources are going to be very useful here later on in the game when it comes to upgrading our planets or upgrading buildings on our worlds and things like that. Now, I have not found any other astral rifts in the galaxy, and this is like crazy unlucky right now. I feel like in my past run, like I was finding astral rifts all over the galaxy. In today's case, not so much. And so let's go over here to our second planet, St. Pomeroy, and we have housing, we have amenities. This world's looking pretty solid right now. We even have a decent amount of alloys. Not alloys, but consumer goods. And so I'm going to go ahead and build another research lab here. I want to keep actually, you know what, better yet, let's just keep it Unity. We'll make this like a unified world. And so we'll build a temple building next, and then I'll probably have to slow down on any more buildings that have consumer goods as an upkeep. Now, let's see, I have another envoy available. Let's go ahead and assign them to initiate first contact protocol with an empire we have not made contact with down here towards the south. And honestly, I feel like I might be pinched in a little bit here in the galaxy, right in the center of the galaxy. And so yes, the entire galaxy revolves around us. Now we have another tradition here. I've already completed discovery, and now we're going to be leading into prosperity. And so for our next prosperity tradition, let's go with creative collectives. And so this says, by creating a system of autonomous, self-organizing collectives to run our factories and schools, we can greatly improve the productivity of our industries. And what this will do is it'll increase the specialist pop resource output just by a little 5%, but that's not too shabby. For my other construction ship here, oh nice, we got a commercial pack with our allies to the north. We'll go ahead and expand our borders again. And yeah, these guys, I know they're going to be getting upset with us, but they are our rivals. That's not looking too shabby there. Now we're going to go ahead and form a research agreement with our friends here as well. And oopsie, we initiated first contact with the Tin Yankee. No worries here. This is a good thing because now we get more influence from this. We get tech progress towards frequency tuning, and this will end our first contact with this species. And I'm not going to eliminate them. I'm actually going to displace the gravekeepers without harming them. And so there's a system down here where there's a massive graveyard. Let's see if I can remember where it's at. It's one of these systems here. Okay, I can't find it. I kill them all. I can't kill the Tin Yankee. No, not the Tin Yankee. But save your votes, guys, because we're going to have a vote here towards the end of the stream today. And this is where we're going to be leaving off. And here it is, guys. The opposing factions. And so before I read this, guys, go over to our YouTube channel. Hit like, subscribe it, because we're going to have a community post where you can vote on this ruined planet situation. Now, this says that there are several large population centers on the center of the planet. Based on their transmissions, we have identified two distinct ideological factions. First off, we have the Starlight Vanguard, who are grim militarists preparing for the coming conflict with the Unified Determination. Now, next up, we have the Black Curtain, who are a priestly order promising spiritual sanctuary from the looming threat. At this point, we are certain that the similarities in our language cannot be a mere coincidence. These are our living ancestors, and both factions are in danger. Now, give me about maybe 20 minutes after the stream is over. Excuse me, guys. But you will be able to vote on this, okay? So there it is again, guys. We have two empires. Who should we visit? Should we visit the militarist, the Starlight Vanguard, Or should we visit the priest, the Black Curtain? The choice is yours. And so, guys, I'm Alfing Delete. This is our first Astral Planes Stellaris DLC episode 1 that we are playing. Tomorrow we will be back, but you have until tonight, up until tomorrow, to vote. Again, here is that. Oh, you guys already see it over there. There's the YouTube link to it. If you're watching this thing on Twitch, go to that YouTube community post. Gaming Brain, I'm getting ready to wrap this stream up. Thank you so much for stopping by, as well as everyone else from Simon's TV's community. We're getting this thing here started, so you guys can vote on that right there, okay? Until then, I will see you all later. We will be back in the stars tomorrow around the same time. Tune in for some more Astral Action. Toodles!